us down.
Thursday, April 12th, 2018. Second King reporting live from the Chanigong Palace Studios. All the kings and queens of the kingdom of God, good morning, folks. It is 6:47 a.m. Some people probably like it that I don't rant as much because of my rib injury, or my muscular rib injury. But it is crazy. You know, it does really rile you up. What can I say? Seeing this kind of insanity and the brazen in-your-face evil really gets you worked up. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But I'm in a situation where I can't really shout and rant and rave for extended periods. But thank you for your prayers and your cards and get well soon things. And look, it wasn't really. It was weird because I was training with Master Jojo. I felt my muscles and my ribs. I heard these boom, boom, these two pops that came out of him. So I thought they were fractures or rib injuries, but felt very strange. The whole week felt strange. And then I said, I should be okay. And so I trained very lightly with Francisco. And while I was I was on his back choking him, trying to choke him with his gi. And then all of a sudden the two ribs popped again, went boom, boom. And then I just literally I knew then at that point I knew something was bad. And then every time I took an inhale breath, tremendous stabbing pain, which is the reason why, I fractured my shins. I've hurt, have minor, breaks in different parts of the body. So I know how the stabbing pain feels. And it felt very similar to that. It felt like a very stabbing, sharp pain. So I was like, I better get this scanned out. Thankfully, none of the bones were broken, but the doctor said that the muscular tissue surrounding the bone popped off. And so that's where you're experiencing all of that sharp pain. But I feel that those muscles are starting to reattach. It's amazing, the human body, the healing process. And of course, I've not just been staying still and letting the blood coagulate. I've been quite diligently going to my deep needle acupuncture therapist, and he's been stabbing me a lot of times. Boy, oh boy, he's been stabbing me like every time I go there. He's been like putting 20 needles in my ribs, and those are the long needles. So he stabs all the way through, and boy, oh boy, it was amazing because the second time I went for the deep needle acupuncture, he pushed a needle right through there. I could feel it, and then I could feel two like bubbles bursting inside, which is good. That's a good thing.
Okay.
Because he was saying that the blood coagulation creates blockages in your in your circulatory system, and by creating blockages, it harms your entire system. So, one of the aims of acupuncture is to also stop the blood coagulating, what they call ohyol in Korean, and get rid of that blood that can become toxic by remaining stagnant and poisonous, not become oxygenated, and it becomes literally a poison for your whole blood supply. So I could feel when he hit me with one of those. He hit me like 20 times. He leaves the needles in, twists them. He does all this twisting. What I found the second time he did it, he was doing like this sewing technique, where he was putting it in, turning the angle, stabbing it deeper, turning it again, stabbing it deeper, turning it again, stabbing it deeper. So he was like, catching all these different angles, and he was, you could feel that. You could definitely feel that. I tell you, you could definitely feel that. And then he started twisting on the needles while they're inside, spinning them inside, trying to get electricity in them or whatever the technique is. But anyways, that definitely got me woken up real quick from every which angle. But I felt two bubbles like bursting. That's what I felt, and I believe that it was the coagulated blood that was bursting. So obviously, I have a hard time sitting down in one place for a couple of hours. I have to constantly move and change my position. It's actually easier for me to stand than to sit in one place for constantly. But thank you for your prayers. Thank you for all your get well soon cards. I'm definitely getting better, slowly but surely. But again, one of my bad habits is that when I'm injured, I get very antsy and I want to train again. And then I train too early. And then when I train too early, I'm out for another 2 months. So I'm really going to be trying to be disciplined, not train for at least a month, and probably better not to train for 2 months, so that I don't have to do another 2 months in a reoccurring injury, which I've experienced so many times. I'm very stubborn, and I just love training. So I'm going to have to really be disciplined in this period of healing and practice my other arts. I can practice my other arts, but none of the really stressful grappling and stuff like that. It's not going to be smart. Not going to be smart. So hopefully, so pray for me that I remain strong mentally during this time and not get tempted to roll around on the mats with my kids and the queen and stuff like that.